My sister cut me from her wedding guest list like I was nothing, so I booked a luxury vacation instead. Then her wedding completely fell apart and suddenly I was the one everyone needed. Hey, just wanted to let you know the guest list is finalized, and we had to make some tough cuts. Hope you understand. Love you. I read that message 3 times. Tough cuts. The words didn't make sense. They didn't fit. I wasn't some distant relative or an old acquaintance she barely kept in touch with. I wasn't someone who drifted in and out of her life. I was her brother. The same brother who had been there for every breakdown, every crisis, every moment she didn't think she'd make it through something. And somehow, I had just been cut. I stared at my phone, feeling this slow, heavy disbelief settle in my chest. For a second, I almost laughed. It had to be a mistake. There was no way she actually meant what that message implied. So I called my mom. She picked up on the second ring, cheerful like always. Hey, sweetheart. What's up? I didn't waste time. I just got a message from Shiny. She says the guest list is finalized and I'm not on it. There was a pause. Not long, but long enough. Long enough to confirm everything. Oh, honey, she sighed, slipping into that tone she always used when she was about to dismiss me. It's just a wedding. Don't make a big deal out of this. Just a wedding. Something in my stomach twisted hard. Are you serious? I asked, my voice coming out calmer than I felt. Mom, I'm her brother. How am I not invited to my own sister's wedding? She made this little tisk sound, like I was a kid overreacting to something trivial. It's not personal. They had to keep the guest list small. Small. I cut in. I just saw her Instagram post. There are like 150 people invited. Silence. Then a forced chuckle. Well, you know how things are. Weddings are expensive. Maybe they assumed you wouldn't mind skipping this one. Wouldn't mind. I felt like I'd just been punched in the stomach. Wouldn't mind. I repeated. Mom, I've been there for Shiny through everything. I helped her move twice when she lost her job. I covered half her rent at one point. I was the one who helped her get through her last breakup. I could feel my chest tightening as I spoke. But now I'm not good enough to be there for her wedding. Oh, stop being dramatic, my mom said with a sigh. It's just one day. You're overreacting. I let out a short laugh, completely humorless. Overreacting. Right. I already knew how this would play out. I'd get upset, my mom would brush it off, Shiny would eventually give me some half-hearted apology, and I'd be expected to just move on like nothing happened. Because that's what I always did. Not this time. Something in me snapped. If I wasn't important enough to be included, then fine. I wouldn't be included. I hung up without another word and sat there for a second, staring at my phone. Then I opened my laptop. If I wasn't going to my sister's wedding, I sure as hell wasn't going to sit at home feeling sorry for myself either. I was going somewhere better. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. This wasn't just some small oversight. This was years of being taken for granted piling up all at once. Shiny forgetting my birthday. Only calling me when she needed something. My mom always expecting me to be the understanding one. Shiny always got a pass. But this was different. This was a whole new level of disrespect. So I decided I wasn't going to play along anymore. If I didn't matter enough to be invited, then I didn't matter enough to show up for anything else either. I booked a trip. Not just any trip, a full, no-holding-back kind of trip. All-inclusive, 5-star resort in the Caribbean. Ocean view suite. Spa services. Private beach access. The kind of vacation I'd always told myself was too expensive, too indulgent. Not this time. This wasn't just a vacation. This was a statement. When the wedding weekend came around, I was already on a plane, sitting in first class with a glass of champagne in my hand. I snapped a picture, legs stretched out, drink in frame, and posted it with a caption. Guess I got cut from a guest list, but I think I'll survive. The reactions came fast. Cousins laughing, a few comments, my aunt, probably the only sane one in the family, writing, good for you. Should have taken me with you. And then my mom. 3 texts in a row. Where are you? Are you seriously missing your sister's wedding over this? You're being petty. Petty. I almost smiled. I sent one reply, a picture of the beach. White sand, clay blue water, something straight out of a postcard. Then I turned my phone off. For once, I wasn't going to let them guilt me. For the first time in years, I wasn't putting my family first. I was putting myself first. And honestly, it felt incredible. By the time I arrived, any guilt I might have felt was gone. Completely. The warm air hit me as soon as I stepped outside the airport, carrying that mix of salt and tropical flowers. A private SUV was waiting to take me to the resort, stocked with cold towels and bottled water. Yeah, this was better. Way better than a wedding I wasn't even wanted at. As we drove along the coast, I leaned back and stared out at the ocean, thinking about everything. Back home, They were probably getting ready for the ceremony. My mom making excuses for why I wasn't there. Shiny laughing with her bridesmaids like nothing was missing. Like I was never part of it to begin with. And for the first time, I realized something. Maybe I had spent way too long being there for people who would never do the same for me. But the difference was, here, I wasn't an afterthought. Here, I was the priority. My priority. The resort didn't even feel real at first. It looked like something straight out of a fantasy. The lobby alone had massive open-air architecture, with towering palm trees growing inside and ocean air flowing freely through the space. Before I even finished checking in, someone handed me a cold cocktail like it was second nature. My room? Unreal. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a private balcony overlooking the ocean, and a king-size bed so perfect it almost felt like a crime to sleep in it. I dropped my bags, walked straight out onto the balcony, and just stood there for a moment, taking it all in. The view alone felt like freedom. And yeah, I made sure to take a picture. I posted it with the caption, "When one door closes, another one opens, preferably to a beachside suite with unlimited margaritas." I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew it would get back to my family. And honestly, I wanted it too. For once, I wanted them to feel even a fraction of what it felt like to be excluded. And I was just getting started. The first full day of my trip was perfect in a way I hadn't experienced in years. I woke up to room service, fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, coffee that somehow tasted better than anything I'd ever had before. I spent the entire day doing exactly what I wanted. No obligations. No family drama. No expectations. Just me, the ocean, and a schedule that revolved entirely around my own enjoyment. By the afternoon, I was stretched out on a lounge chair by the infinity pool, drink in hand, watching the waves roll in. Every now and then I'd glance at my phone, not to check in with anyone back home, but to see the reactions to my posts. They didn't disappoint. Cousin Brian, bro, where are you even? Aunt Emma, okay now you're just showing off. Some old college friend, dude, invite me next time. Then I saw the notification that made me smirk. Shiny viewed your story. Oh, so now she was paying attention. I leaned back, took a slow sip of my drink, and just imagined her scrolling through Instagram in some bridal suite, seeing me out here living my best life. Enjoy your big day, I muttered to myself. Hope it's everything you wanted. But then, as the sun started to set, something changed. My phone started blowing up. At first, I ignored it. I figured it was just more reactions, more messages from people commenting on the trip. But then I noticed the names. Mom, Shiny, Brian, Uncle Ray, call after call, text after text. That got my attention. I picked up my phone and opened the first message. Mom, call me. It's an emergency. An emergency? At the wedding? I frowned slightly. Then another message from Brian. Dude, you are not going to believe what just happened. Now I was curious. I sat up and started scrolling through everything, and within seconds, it hit me. Shiny's perfect wedding had completely fallen apart. Message after message came in, and with each one, the picture got clearer, and honestly, more unbelievable. Brian, bro, you dodged a bullet. Mom, call me right now. This is a family crisis. Shiny, please. Where are you? I need you. I leaned back slowly, a smirk forming without me even realizing it. And then came the message that actually made me laugh out loud. According to Cousin Bella, the groom had walked out. Mid-reception. I almost choked on my drink. No way. I immediately texted Brian. What do you mean he left? His reply came fast. Dude, full meltdown. Huge fight during the reception. He just walked out. Like, actually left the venue. Another message followed. And then Uncle Ray and your dad started screaming at each other about who ruined the family's reputation. Grandma's crying. They shut the bar down early. It's chaos. I just sat there, staring at my phone, shaking my head in disbelief. This was unbelievable. My sister had decided I wasn't important enough to attend her wedding. And now I was suddenly the person everyone was trying to reach. I could practically hear my mom already. You need to fix this. Your sister needs you. Yeah. No. Then Shiny's message popped up again. Please answer your phone. I need you. I stared at it for a second. And then I typed back one line. Sorry. I'm a little busy enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding was fun. Sent. Blocked. Her number. My mom's. Even Brian's, just in case he got dragged into trying to guilt me. Then I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, flagged down the bartender, and ordered another drink. Because while my family spiraled into chaos, I was in paradise. And for once, I wasn't going to let them ruin that. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of waves crashing softly against the shore. The ocean breeze drifted in through the balcony, carrying that mix of salt and tropical air. For a brief moment, I forgot everything. Then I checked my phone. Even with most of them blocked, there were still over 20 missed calls from unknown numbers. Voicemails had slipped through. Against my better judgment, I played one. My mom's voice, frantic. I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is not the time for one of your tantrums. Your sister. Delete. Next voicemail. Shiny, crying. I don't understand why you're doing this. You're my brother. I need you. Please just call me back. Delete. Then Brian. Whispering like he was hiding somewhere. Dude. Mom and Aunt Emma are planning to show up at your apartment when you get back. Just a heads up. Also, Grandma thinks the wedding was cursed because you weren't there. It's actually kind of hilarious. That one I almost saved. I tossed my phone onto the bed and stepped out onto the balcony again. The sunrise painted everything gold, calm and perfect in a way that felt almost surreal. Back home, everything was falling apart. Here, peace. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I had made the right choice. Yeah, I said, leaning back into the cushions of the cabana, staring out at the endless stretch of blue in front of me. I think I'm in a good place for whatever this is. Bella let out a breathless laugh on the other end of the line, like she had been waiting for me to say that. Okay, she said, barely containing herself. After the groom left, Shiny had a complete meltdown. And I don't mean a few tears. I mean screaming, wailing, throwing things at people. I smirked, taking a slow sip of my drink. Yeah, that sounds about right. She completely lost it, Bella continued. Everyone was trying to calm her down. And then, this is the best part, Mom overheard Aunt Emma saying that maybe all of this could have been avoided if you had been there. I blinked. Wait, what? Bella giggled, clearly enjoying every second of this. Yeah, she said you're always the one who fixes things when Shiny spirals. That if you were there, you would have handled it. Talked to the groom. Smoothed everything over. You know, like you always do. I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing. So let me get this straight, I said, shaking my head. The same people who cut me out of the wedding are now blaming me for not being there to save it. Oh, it gets better, Bella said immediately. Mom snapped at Aunt Emma and told her she was being ridiculous. Then they started arguing. Loudly. Of course they did. And then Grandma got involved, she added, her voice cracking with laughter now. She stood up in front of everyone and said Shiny brought this on herself. That she offended the universe by not inviting her own brother. I nearly choked on my drink. You're kidding. I wish I was, Bella said. She literally told Shiny, in front of everyone, if you had treated your family better, you wouldn't be standing here alone in your wedding dress. I leaned back in my chair, staring out at the ocean with a slow, satisfied smile spreading across my face. Wow, I said quietly. That's kind of beautiful. Oh, and one more thing, Bella added. Your mom tried to contact the groom's family to smooth things over. I raised an eyebrow. Let me guess. That didn't go well. Bella laughed. His mom just smiled and said, "This is your problem now." And walked away. That did it. I had to set my drink down because I was laughing too hard. So, I said after a moment, catching my breath. Where does that leave Shiny? Bella sighed, though I could still hear the amusement in her voice. Crying. Blaming everyone. Refusing to take any responsibility. Basically, the usual. I shook my head slowly, a grin still lingering on my face. You know what the best part is? I said. What? She asked. I took another sip of my drink, letting it sit for a moment before answering. I don't care. Bella lost it. Honestly, she said between laughs, I don't blame you. I just thought you'd want to know. Feels like karma finally caught up. Oh, I definitely appreciate the update, I said, still smirking. Thanks, Bella. Anytime, she replied. Enjoy your trip. And for what it's worth, you did the right thing. I ended the call feeling lighter than I had in years. They wanted a wedding without me. And now, thanks to their own choices, they got a disaster instead. I picked up my drink, raised it slightly toward the sky, and let out a quiet toast to myself. To the best decision I'd ever made. The rest of the day passed in a blur of pure relaxation. I didn't check my phone again. I didn't think about home. I booked a sunset cruise, let the warm ocean breeze wash over me, and later sat down to a 5-star dinner by the water. While my family was back home cleaning up the emotional wreckage of Shiny's wedding, I was cutting into one of the best steaks I'd ever had in my life. At one point, a thought crossed my mind. Maybe I should feel bad for her. Maybe I should feel something. But then I remembered the message. The way she cut me out without hesitation. The way my mom dismissed me like I was nothing. And just like that, the feeling disappeared. No, I muttered to myself, lifting my glass. I'm good. I snapped one last photo of the view and posted it with a simple caption. 0 regrets. Then I turned my phone off again. I was done being their backup plan. The next morning, I woke up feeling different. Lighter. No tension in my chest. No anxiety waiting for the next problem I'd be expected to fix. No looming sense of responsibility that wasn't actually mine. Just the sound of waves, sunlight spilling into the room, and a full day ahead of doing absolutely nothing. I stretched, ordered room service, and, out of curiosity, turned my phone back on. Big mistake. Within seconds, notifications flooded in. Mom, you need to stop acting like a child and call me. Shiny. I can't believe you're doing this to me. You're so selfish. Mom again. This isn't funny. Your sister is heartbroken. Do you even care? Unknown number. We need to fix this family before it's too late. I let out a slow groan and rubbed my face. It was almost impressive how quickly they went from excluding me to expecting me to fix everything. Then one message stood out. Bella, I know you're ignoring everyone, but read this. Your mom is trying to gather the family for a meeting when you get back. I almost laughed. Get back. Like I was just going to walk into that, sit down, and pretend none of this happened? Not a chance. I replied quickly. Thanks for the warning. I won't be there. Her response came almost instantly. Wait, what do you mean? I smirked as I typed back. I'm extending my trip. They wanted to cut me out, right? Fine. I'm cutting myself out completely. I could practically feel her reaction through the screen. A moment later, she replied. Okay, that's iconic. Tell me everything when you get back. Whenever that is LOL. I grinned, set my phone down, and opened my laptop. A few clicks later, my trip was extended another full week. No family. No drama. No forced conversations. Just peace. Before heading out to the beach, I sent one final message, to both my mom and Shiny. Oh, so now you want me around? Sorry. I'm too busy enjoying my overreaction. Have fun cleaning up your own mess. Then I blocked them. Again. For the last time. I set my phone down, ordered another drink, and stepped out into the sun.